Hello. In this video, I'm going to explain the definitions of, or the concepts of, validity and invalidity, soundness and unsoundness. Now remember, this applies to deductive arguments only, and deductive arguments have as a definition that they incorporate the claim that it is impossible for the conclusion to be false given that the premises are true. Now, a valid argument is one that actually accomplishes it. It's not just that it incorporates that claim, it actually fulfills that claim. It is impossible for the conclusion to be false given that the premises are true. Now, over here on the right-hand side, I have a nice little handy-dandy graph here, and I'll fill in some checks. Notice that the idea of this graph is that given different possibilities for the truth value of the premises and the conclusions, you have the possibility of that actually happening in a valid versus an invalid argument. Now notice this definition here says that it is impossible for the conclusion to be false given that the premises are true. Well, that's this case right here. Okay, so by this definition, this is not possible. That's why that area is crossed off. But everything else is possible with a valid argument. A valid argument can have true premises and a true conclusion. It can have false premises and a true conclusion. It can have false premises and a false conclusion. And an invalid argument can have any possibility. So notice right away here that just looking at an argument and saying, or asking yourself, are the premises true and the conclusion true, isn't necessarily going to help you very much on this, just in rare occasion. So in determining validity, what you need to do is just say, let's just suppose, for sake of argument, that the premises are true and the conclusion is, that the premises are true. Does that guarantee that the conclusion has to be true? Well, let's take a look at this example over here. All dogs are mammals, all mammals are animals. Let's suppose that's true. Let's suppose everything that's a dog is inside of the group of things called mammals. Okay? And everything that's a mammal is inside of the group of things called animals. Does that guarantee that everything that is a dog is inside of the group animals? And the answer is yes. Notice it's not that we're talking about dogs and mammals and animals that matters here. It's how we talk about them. These premises, because of their very structure, guarantee this conclusion. Now over here in this example, we get a little different scenario. Sorry, I had to bend down and pick that up. In this example over here, if I erase this really quickly, notice all dogs are animals. So here we have animals. All dogs are inside of there. There they are. All cats are animals. Okay, here's cats. They're animals. Now notice this picture allows this to be true and this to be true, but this ends up false. No matter what I did with that other example, where we had dogs, mammals, and animals, no matter how I draw that, if I'm going to have these true, this thing is going to have to be true too. Okay, so again, you have to start by just assuming the premises are true. Now, in fact, them being true doesn't really matter much here, at least not for determining validity. Okay, so let me give you a little different example. Suppose we change dogs to, let's say, EB gobbies. Okay, all EB gobbies, so let's change this dogs here to EB gobbies. All EB gobbies are toompas. And all toompas, whoa, I keep erasing everything here. Gotta be careful with my eraser. So all toompas are, and this was all EB gobbies, are. Now, I can leave that in there. Okay, let's just think about this for a second. All EB gobbies are toompas. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, what the heck is an EB gobby? What the heck is a toompa? How do I know if they really are if EB-Gobbies are Toompas or not, or if Toompas are animals. I can't tell because I don't know what the heck they are. But notice, you can still determine whether this is a valid argument. Suppose all EB-Gobbies are Toompas. Okay? And all Toompas are inside of the group of things called animals. Well, guess what? EB-Gobbies are inside the thing called animals. So if these are true, this is going to have to be true. So notice this has very little to do with about what we're talking about. It has everything to do about how we talk about it. Now over here, this is invalid not because dogs are not cats. It's invalid because of the pure structure. It is possible by this structure that the premises are true and the conclusion is false. Over here, that's not possible. A valid argument is one where it is impossible that the conclusion is false given that the premises are true. This argument is invalid. This argument is valid. This is valid because it fits this. So, in order to determine validity, start by assuming the premises are true. If you can draw a picture, that'll help. Then, does that guarantee that the conclusion is true? That's what you have to ask yourself. Now, one last thing here. So, an argument that is actually sound, that's the best kind of argument of all. Because a sound argument, let me give you a different color here just to make it interesting. A sound argument has two features. It's valid and the premises are true. Now think about that. If it's valid, then it's impossible the conclusion is false given that the premises are true. And the premises are true. So you're guaranteed that you have a true conclusion. It's the best possible argument. So what you want to do in testing for soundness, this is fairly simple at this point. First of all, determine validity. If it's valid, then you ask yourself, are the premises true? You might have to look that up, okay, in the examples you have in your exercises. You might have to look that up, and that's perfectly fine. Just, Google it. But for starters, ask if it's valid, then ask, are the premises in fact true? If it's valid and the premises are in fact true, it is sound. If you find that the premises are false, it's unsound. If you find that the argument is an invalid argument, it's unsound. So that's the short of it on valid and invalid, sound and unsound. I hope that helps. If you have specific questions, please email me and I will try to answer those for you.